I know a lot of the videos I've been making recently have been about video games, and this is going to be another one. What can I say? I don't have too much to say in the sports world right now. Obviously, basketball just finished up. I wrote a whole finals retrospective on my website. You can go check that out. I'll link it down below. And I'm not going to go over all the points I made in my article. One thing I will say is that, in my opinion, LeBron James is now the 6th greatest player in NBA history, and his career is the 6th best in NBA history. So if you want to know my logic behind that, you can go read my article on my website. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that. So we got baseball right now. I don't watch very much baseball at all. I follow it. I follow the Mariners. I check to see how they're doing every day on my phone. Right now, not so good. Getting whipped by the Pirates. So not much going on with sports until football starts for me. And I did not see a movie this weekend because, as it turned out, World War Z was full. So I'm going to go see World War Z probably in 2 weeks. And maybe I'll make it a double feature with The Lone Ranger to make up for the lost weekend. I don't know. But yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about video games. And I am as excited for video games as I have been in a long time because of all this next generation stuff. And I'm just going back and reliving the memories I had growing up with the PlayStation 2, remembering the experiences I had with that. And I just wanted to share a little story with you guys about why I recommend using a play and trade or a similar local store that sells video games, not a GameStop, if you can find one. So I'm going to share this story I had a few days ago. So it was Saturday. No, it was Sunday. I went into a GameStop and I wanted to go see. I didn't have anything in mind of what I wanted to get, but I just wanted to step in and see what they had, look around. I got 2 games. One was the Jak and Daxter Trilogy Collection on PS3, and the other was Stranglehold on the PS3. Cost me like $15, so I felt pretty good about that. But while I was waiting in line, I heard somebody next to me trading in their copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Now, that's a pretty recent title. It's still something of a big deal. It's not brand new, but it is a fairly recent release, and it's, a lot of people are still playing it online. That's a game that if GameStop gets used, they will have no problems selling it right back to somebody. That's something that probably flies in and out of the shelves. I think it's the most recent Call of Duty. Obviously, we have Call of Duty Ghosts coming out soon, but for now, I think it's the most recent Call of Duty. So he gets up there and asks, how much can I get for this game? And it ends up being $3. And I can't remember if it was store credit or cash. I think it was cash, but I heard that and I was like, first I thought, I misheard and maybe it was Modern Warfare 2. That makes sense to me. Maybe even Modern Warfare 1, which I actually have. And no, it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for $3. And I just heard that, and to me, I'm just like, there's no way that's worth it. I don't care if you don't like the game. I don't care if you beat the game and you don't give a crap about the multiplayer. You can go on eBay and sell that game for probably $30, $40 easy. So I heard that. I think he did end up making the trade. He was probably somebody who didn't give a shit and just wanted to get rid of it. So I kept that in mind, and the next day, Monday, I went to my local play and trade, and I wanted to trade in 4 games. Now, one of the games I could not trade in. It's this one, Cabela's Outdoor Adventures. I don't know why I even have this game. I think my brother got it when he was little because he saw it once and thought it looked awesome, and it's kind of a turd, but I guess it's playable. But anyway, they wouldn't take it because they had too many copies of it. So clearly the people in this area had similar opinions of the game because they could not wait to trade it into play and trade. But anyway, on top of that game, so I'm holding on to that game for the time being because they wouldn't even take it. I traded in 3 PlayStation 3 games. And I'm going to tell you about a little offer that they had that you too might be able to take advantage of. I don't know if this is a national thing or not, but I traded in 3 crappy PlayStation 3 games. They are Genji Days of the Blade, which is a kind of a ninja action game that has a shitty camera, shitty controls, very clunky, very frustrating, very a very obnoxious game that I beat because I forced myself to beat it because I didn't want the game to beat me. I like to beat games. If I fail at beating the game, I feel like the game beat me. So I did end up beating the game, traded it in. The second game was um, F F1 Championship Edition Racing. It was basically a generic racing game. I played through a season of it, and I was like, give me Gran Turismo any day of the week. Just a very generic Grand Prix F1 racing game. And the third game was Robert Ludlum's The Bourne Conspiracy, which is an adaptation of the Bourne Legacy movie. And the game, it's kind of a mess. It's not terrible or anything, but it's basically it's a action shooter. You're running around. It's a little bit of stealth, kind of like what Jason Bourne does in the movies. The problem is whenever you get within a couple steps of an enemy, the game goes into a fighting mode where it basically turns into a fighting game, and it's just really, really obnoxious and not good. So I traded in those 3 games, and the trade value I got for those 3 games, $9. So basically $3 a game. So at Play and Trade, I got the same value for 3 shitty, older, forgettable games for the PS3 that somebody else got for Modern Warfare 3 at GameStop. So if you want to go trade in some of your games, and I typically don't, but I made an exception this time because these games are totally irrelevant, that's the route you want to go. If you have a copy of any game, I would highly recommend you find another way to trade it in that's not GameStop, because I got $9 credit for those 3 completely crappy games. And here's the promotion I was talking about. Right now, my local Play and Trade is doing a thing where if you bring in 3 or 4 used, 3 or 4 PS3, Xbox 360, DS, or basically I think any current gen game, 3 current gen games to trade in, not only will you get the trade-in value, you'll get 10 bonus trade-in value dollars. So for those 3 games I traded in, I actually got $19. So I was pretty stoked about that because I expected to get like $2 for those 3 games, and I honestly didn't care. I got 19. And I don't know what they would have given me for Cabela's if they didn't have a million copies already, but it probably would have been, I mean, GameStop won't even take PlayStation 2 games because they don't sell them anymore. At least not GameStops around here. If you try to bring in PlayStation 2 games, they're not going to take them, I'm pretty sure, because they can't sell them. So anyway, what I got with my trade-in value, because I didn't want to walk out of there with sitting on any trade-in money, so I decided to purchase 2 games. First one I'm excited for, PlayStation 2, Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Very excited to check that one out at some point. And the second, well, after I bought Star Ocean, I still had like 80 cents left. So I looked around, tried to find something that cost about $1, and I found Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 for the PlayStation. No jewel case, no booklet, just the disc, but that's what you're going to get if you're looking for something that costs $1, pretty much. So he gave this one to me free, basically, because I still owed 16 cents after it was done. And he just said, don't worry about it, I'll just put it as a coupon. So yeah, I traded in 3 crappy, forgettable PlayStation 3 games that I will never play again and didn't really enjoy playing. And I got $19 of credit, which turned into this and this. So that's pretty good. That's a lot better than I thought I was going to do. So to any of you out there who are thinking of trading in your games, all I can say is GameStop, last resort. Sell it on eBay. Sell it at Play and Trade. Sell it at Replays, which is another local gaming store I've heard of. Maybe even Game Crazy, which I haven't seen in a long time, but maybe they still exist. So yeah, those are the 3 games that have been newly added to my collection. Cabela's is getting re-added because I couldn't get rid of it. I'm going to try to get rid of it at a later date. And yeah, there you go.